All right, welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the SAP sales order. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the technical logic that every single developer really needs to know to get this right. So, let's jump in. Think about it. You've probably done it a million times. You're in VA01, you fill everything out, you click save, and poof, a sales order number pops up. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually going on behind that click? What's the engine making it all work? Well, that is exactly what we're going to unpack today. So first things first, let's start on familiar ground. We'll look at the journey from a user's perspective. This is the visible part of the iceberg, the standard flow that everyone sees day to day.
Often, the whole process kicks off long before an order is even an order. It might start with a simple inquiry from a customer just asking about products or pricing. That can lead to a formal quotation, and then, once the customer gives the green light, that quotation gets converted into the official sales order.
And here's the trigger, right? The customer sends us their purchase order. That's our cue. We hop into transaction VA01 and create our own internal sales order, making sure to link it back to their PO number. For the user, it feels pretty straightforward, like a simple data entry task. Okay, but now we go below the surface. This is where it gets really interesting, especially if you are a developer or anyone who has to build on or, let's be honest, debug this process. We're going to look at the system's core logic that makes it all tick. You see, when that sales order gets saved, the system instantly knows what to do. It knows whether to check inventory, how to calculate the price, or when to schedule a delivery. And it feels like magic, doesn't it? But it's not at all. Every single one of those actions is controlled by this powerful, intricate web of rules we call configuration. And the perfect way to picture this is with the iceberg model. What we see, that user screen in VA01, that's just the very tip. The real power, the massive hidden structure that holds everything up, is all that configuration and code sitting just below the waterline. So if we want to understand this hidden structure, we have to find out who's in charge. Who's the director of this whole play? Well, it turns out there's one key piece of configuration that basically orchestrates the entire show from start to finish. And that director is the sales document type. You'll find it in transaction VOV8. Think of it as the master controller. It determines pretty much everything: the number range, what screens you see, and the entire business process that this document is going to follow. And this table just shows you how powerful it is. Look at a standard order, type OR. Its whole purpose is a new sale. It kicks off a delivery out to the customer and creates an invoice to get paid. But a return order, type RE, does the complete opposite. It triggers a delivery to bring goods back and creates a credit memo to give money back. Two totally different worlds, and it's all controlled by that one setting. Okay, so the document type is our director, running the whole show. But let's drill down another level. Because what about the individual products on the order? The system needs to know how to handle each of those too. And that is the job of the item category. So if the document type is the director, the item category tells each actor, each line item, what its role is. You set this up in transaction VOV7, and it controls the behavior for every single line. The item category is what answers all the critical questions. For this specific line, do we charge money for it? Does it need to show up on the bill? Do we need to check if we even have it in stock? A standard item, TAN, for example, is obviously relevant for pricing and delivery. But a return item, REN, follows a whole different script that ends with a customer credit, not an invoice. And now, for all the developers watching, listen up. This next part is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. If you are writing any custom code that touches sales documents, there is one check you absolutely positively must build into your logic to make it bulletproof. This golden rule is all about one little field. It's called the document category, or VBTY, and you'll find it in the header table, VBAK. Now, this is not the same as the OR or RE we just talked about. This is the system's internal, hard-coded, single-character ID. It is the absolute, unchangeable source of truth for what a document really is. And here are the codes that matter. See, the system doesn't care about the descriptive names we give our document types. It has its own language. If VBTYP is C, it's a sales order, period. If it's H, it's a return. If it's M, it's an invoice. Your code, your logic, needs to be based on this and nothing else. I really can't stress this enough. When your program needs to know what it's dealing with, you must validate the VB type field. Checking against a configurable name like R is fragile. That could change. But checking against the system's internal code like C is rock solid. Trust me, this one simple practice will save you from a world of pain and endless hours of debugging. So, let's tie this all together. We started at the surface with that simple user screen, but we dove down and found the real machinery. The sales document type is the director, setting the scene. The item categories are the actors, defining each line's role. And for all you developers, the golden rule. Always, always trust the document's true identity card, that VBTYP field. It's the key to writing solid code that lasts. And that leaves us with one final thought. The next time you click Save on anything, just take a second to wonder, what invisible rules, what hidden directors and actors are really running the show behind the scenes? It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Thanks so much for watching.